How did we get to a point where America's richest man is so obviously full of shit all the time? It's almost like wealth alone isn't a good indicator of who our best and brightest are. Cecil Rhodes was one of the richest men in England of his time, and not only supported outright racism, but would bring young black men to parties with him and talk about how great it was ducking them. Rich people have always been bent. The only difference is that with social media, we watch it as it happens. Was that ever not the case? Wealth actually does affect one's ability to see other people's humanity after a certain point. With that in mind, if you are the only one you see as a human being, it becomes difficult to see the value in good counsel and constructive criticism. Redditors, what are your views on falling in love at first sight? Do you think it's simple infatuation? Why? You can't love someone at first sight because you don't know someone at first sight, and you can't love someone you don't know. Love is a choice to be loving towards someone. Love at first sight is just an infatuation. That's not love. That's just having a crush. I will never experience love. If the world had a zombie apocalypse, what items, knowledge do you have that can help a survivor settlement? I have a large property, guns, and a very large capacity for violence. I know electricity like the back of my hand. I would have power, lol. The knowledge that I will likely be picked off quickly as I have zero useful skills in this situation. I'm smart, adaptable, and a team player. I'll parlay those traits into some kind of meaningful role in humanity's last outpost if it comes to that. What is some advice you'd give to incoming college freshmen? Don't mouth off to local cops. They get their jollies by screwing with the new students. Also, get to know your professors. Your relationship as an adult student is a hell of a lot different than all the ones before. Go meet your professors, teaching assistants. Walk to all your classrooms before your first day of class. Go to class. Work on your pull-out game or wrap it up. You don't have to be best friends with your roommate. Which TV moment will you never ever forget? Will talking about how he doesn't need his dad and then starts crying. Then Uncle Phil hugging him. First things first, rest in peace Uncle Phil. For real. Gus death. Fonzie jumping that shark. I waited a week to watch him jump that shark, but that night my mom decided she had to visit my older sister who had just started college. I was chosen as her escort for no good reason. The lobby of the dorm was playing the Happy Days episode as we entered, but all I saw was the start of the jump before being rushed off to see my sister. I never saw the jump these many years later, but the repercussions still echo through the land of television to this very day. History passed me by. Tournament of power. Money can't buy happiness, people. Why? I fucker. I'd rather be rich and divorced. Happiness comes from interaction and thrills, etc., not from material goods. Material goods can please you, yes. Jewelry, merchandise, etc. But when you truly think about it, we get material goods to show to other people and to spark conversations. So happiness doesn't come from goods, it comes from people. Needs, wants, and how people view them. Money can fulfill needs, and wants have some psych impact. But ultimately happiness comes from within, even if often influenced by the external. Research suggests that money does generally buy happiness up to a certain point. Approximately $90,000 a year. But then it has diminishing returns. This is on average. So a lot of people that were a part of these studies don't actually line up with that. For most people, money does buy happiness, but for some it doesn't. So really, it just simply isn't true for those people. Money actually doesn't buy happiness for them. How high are you, RN? I'm on the sofa, so like 18 inches. Around sea level. About 6 feet 3. Flying. What is something you know you're wrong about, but you still won't change your position on, and why? The way I pronounce GIF. The thing is, either way is going to be the wrong way to some people. I know some people say it's a hard G because the G stands for graphics, but I just can't pronounce a G before an I as a hard G. That Bob Ross is still alive. I won't change my position because I can't accept that he's gone. Being adamant that macarons are macaroons and macaroons are macarons around my friend. It drives her absolutely nuts as she corrects me every time. But she also pronounces LaCroix as La Siwa, and croissant as Siwasan. Phonetically butchered. I know. Despite these technically being how they should be pronounced. It just sounds pretentious coming from an American who only speaks English. Like that one chick from HIMYM. I'll always pronounce Audi like Audi, and not how it's supposed to be pronounced like Audi. When I was a kid, I had a friend with an Audi belly button. To make me laugh, she would often show me her belly button and wave it around in a circle and yell, Audi, 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 and I would lose it. Now whenever someone pronounces Audi like Audi, all I can picture in my head is a little girl waving around an Audi belly button and shouting, Audi, Audi, Audi. And I crack up. You can own one gun from a video game, what would you pick? The Needler from Halo. I think that would look cool as a wall decoration. Top. The M42, Fat Man, launcher. Ray Gun Cod. What song do you love that apparently a lot of people hate? A lot of the music I listen probably too heavy for most people's liking. The one that goes, is it the Reebok or the Nike's, classic? March of the Volunteers. Hotel California sad face. What's the fastest way to make $1 million? Steal a bank. Fastest with heavy risk? Probably an index fund with a track record of gains. Most secure? Mutual funds with solid track records diversified. There's some get rich quick crap, but it's usually heavy risk, and your chances to making it to your million threshold is significantly decreased. A printer. Marry a billionaire. Old people of Reddit. How old were you when you truly felt old? After my parents died, and my kids and their generation became adults. So early 50s. 22. Probably late 30s. It was then that people that were born after I was an adult were starting to enter the workforce as interns and such, and I started more directly interacting with them. Also was the point where I ran into more things like, I slept on my arm funny. Now it's going to ache for 2 days. I asked my nephew, who was 6 at the time, how old he thought I was. You're 50. Sad face. I'm 41. What's the classiest thing a person can do? Pinky up. Be polite. Bow. Honestly shouldn't be a thing but a general rule. But having at least basic respect towards their fellow humans, animals and nature. If you have that, I salute you. What is something you could do as a kid but would be frowned upon if you were to do it as an adult? I grabbed a random woman's boob at Kmart while she was looking at the bottom shelf and she laughed. The reaction would be very different if I did that now. Bath with my dad. Walking around, roaring at people. Scream and cry if you don't get your way. What's your favorite dog? My dog. Hot. Mine. Australian Shepherd. Married people of Reddit, who was attracted to their significant other first? You or your partner? Both. We met online. Both. She made the first move though. My husband, I thought he was cringy. It was definitely mutual. What's the most messed up, inappropriate thing that someone's casually said to you? Your brother is only nice to you because he's not threatened by you or your partner. If you were successful and she were pretty, he wouldn't be nice to either of you. Mom. My mom died of cancer when I was 2. When I was roughly 6. My older siblings told me that my mom and I were playing in the front yard and I kicked a ball into the road, and when she went to get it she got hit by a garbage truck, and that's how she died. I didn't find out the truth till a few years later. Odd that I have zero relationship with my family now. I had 3 kids and breastfed them all for about a year each. I had them back to back, so was nursing or pregnant for around 5 years overall. I was sitting on the couch feeding my youngest daughter one day and my now ex-husband walked in and said, "Jesus, I never thought I'd get sick of looking at your boobs, but I am." It was totally out of nowhere and felt like a gut punch. My eyes filled with tears and I just looked down at my baby to focus on her instead of sobbing. I stretched in class, sitting in the front seat, and my teacher clapped and said, "And that's why I put you types of girls up front." I was in 6th grade. He was fired the next year for watching porn in class, along with countless complaints from other girls along with their parents. Mr. B. I hope you are living a lonely life. Ducking perv. Edit. I'm from Indiana, so it's prob not your teacher, but it makes me so sad this has happened so much. You can bring one extinct plant back to life. Which is it, and why? Silphium. https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/silphium. The giant mushrooms before trees. Because why not? Tree-like ferns aren't completely extinct. But I'd love to see what a true carboniferous forest would have looked like. Giant-ass fern jungles would look really alien. Your mother. When was the last time that you felt truly free? Never. LMAO, when I was like 9. Rolling on the floor laughing. On LSD. Last year I went to my window and just started crying and looking at all the trees. It was so weird but calming. Like I just got set free from a mind prison. What is some advice you'd give to incoming college freshmen? Go meet your professors, teaching assistants. Walk to all your classrooms before your first day of class. Go to class. Don't mouth off to local cops. They get their jollies by screwing with the new students. Also, get to know your professors. Your relationship as an adult student is a hell of a lot different than all the ones before. Always wear, or insist on your partner wearing, a condom. Learn to cook. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be able to cook fancy. But being able to produce some quick, filling meals from basic ingredients is worth it. There are plenty of cookbooks aimed at college students. For cooking on a budget, or with limited equipment and space, etc. Get one. Learn some recipes. Doesn't apply to everyone. But if you used to get by or do really well in high school without lifting a finger, don't go into college thinking it is going to work that way. I graduated valedictorian of my class in high school without ever doing a single homework and always studying for tests the night before. College was a huge reality check for me. Eventually I figured out how to get back on track, a decent student. After barely passing the first 2 years. I guess my advice is focus on building yourself an effective study routine if you don't have one already. You'll get lost otherwise. Serious. What's your opinion on people who don't want to date a certain race? Attention. Serious. Tag notice asterisk. Jokes, puns, and off-topic comments are not permitted. https www.reddit.com/r/askreddit/wiki/index #wiki_rule_6- in any comment, parent or child, parent comments that aren't from the target group will be removed, along with their child replies. Report comments that violate these rules. Posts that have few relevant answers within the first hour. And posts that are not appropriate for the serious Tag will be removed. Consider doing an AMA request instead. Thanks for your cooperation and enjoy the discussion. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit. Message, compose, to =r, AskReddit. If you have any questions or concerns. I have no opinion. That's their choice and none of my business. Maybe they have a reason, like they have a lot of family from that area, or maybe they're just prejudiced. It's okay to have a preference. It's not okay to belittle someone due to their race, or loudly proclaim how one is better than another. Cat people of Reddit, what's the weirdest thing your cat has done? Mittens did my taxes in 2018. My cat was sitting on top of my bookshelf just staring at my bedroom door, and I jokingly out loud said, "Thanks for keeping me safe from demons, yo," and she immediately snapped her head towards me and let out a low growl. I'm an atheist, but goddang if that didn't spook the shit out of me. She got married, eloped, and got knocked up. My girlfriend's kitten likes to do backflips because it annoys her other cats. What can you buy for $1 in your country? 1 kilo mango. Ramen. Hope and disappointment in the form of a lottery ticket. In GT. What can you buy for $1 in your country? €1. What do you do, and how much do you earn? QA software tester at a mid-size company. $55,000 plus benefits. I work produce. I definitely don't make enough to justify having to separate rotting, slimy, moldy, liquidy, putrid merchandise from its plastic packaging. But I do it anyways. Only downside is I lost any kind of an appetite for salads. Salads and peppers like serrano, passilla, etc. all smell like someone took a fresh shit right in front of your nose when they start to rot. Tree climber. I'm in about the upper mid-range of the salary at about $54K per year plus benefits and 2 months off. In the winter. Radiological control technician, $70K before taxes. $48K after taxes, benefits, 401K deductions. What's something that can't be done half now and half later? Suicide. Breathing. Eating fried foods. Doubly so for fried seafood. It's never going to be good if you reheat it later. Open heart surgery. What children's show is actually quite dark? Jessie. It's honestly quite sad to think about the fact that the parents adopted all of those kids just to never actually be at home with them at all. But honestly, I wouldn't be complaining if I were that rich. Thomas the Tank Engine. The original. Not the very awful new one or metacore older animated one. The trains are in constant fear of being killed off if they are not being useful. Any if you turn the brightness down. Coraline, and I realize that it's not a show, so don't give me shit about it, lol. What would be the first thing you'd say if you woke up in hell with Satan in bed next to you? Ready for round 2? I told you I was done with you, Amber, just like Johnny did. Look to see if Saddam is on the other side. What the hell? And then I'd start laughing at my own joke, then I say, bruh. It's hot as hell in here, then laugh at my own joke again, and then I'd freak out. Because I am in hell. Redditors who have spent plenty of time on the internet. What's your best find so far? Besides porn. https://pavelthegreat.github.io/webgl-fluid-simulation/ Old pen pals and friends from childhood. Being able to reconnect with old pen pals and friends I met at church camp or something has probably been the most rewarding thing for me. It's pretty telling when you feel the need to qualify your question, lol. Asterisk, besides porn, asterisk. This site has cheat sheets for lots of things. Cheatography.com. https://cheatography.com/closing parenthesis. You can invent a disease that doesn't hurt anybody, only pisses them off or inconveniences them. What are you coming up with? A disease where you constantly feel like you are about to sneeze but nothing happens. A disease where the person constantly has the sensation that there is a single hair in their mouth at all times. You can only speak in rhymes. You will wake up at a random time in the morning and no alarm or anything will be capable of waking you up. What is some advice you'd give to incoming college freshmen? Go meet your professors, teaching assistants. Walk to all your classrooms before your first day of class. Go to class. Don't mouth off to local cops. They get their jollies by screwing with the new students. Also, get to know your professors. Your relationship as an adult student is a hell of a lot different than all the ones before. If you think you're gonna end up partying, enjoying life free from your parents, etc. for a few years, then I'd not go to college just yet. Instead, go get a shitty job, some roommates, and learn life while not wasting tons of money and possibly the only chance you'll ever have to get a real education and learn skills that will enable you to earn a living. Too many young people treat college as an experience to drink, travel, live on their own, etc. Then in 10 years they cry that they've got $100,000 in unpaid school loans and zero real skills, but a bunch of fun drunken memories on Instagram. Don't be that person. You don't have to be best friends with your roommate.